Ninna nanna mamma, tienimi con te, nel tuo letto grande ancora per un po'. Una ninna nanna io ti canterò, e se ti addormenti mi addormenterò. Ninna nanna mamma, insalata non ce n'è, 7 le scodelle sulla tavola del re. Ninna nanna mamma, ce n'è una anche per te, dentro cosa c'è? Solo un chicco di caffè. Dormono le case, dorme la città, solo un orologio suona e fa tic-tac. Anche la formica si riposa ormai, ma tu sei la mamma e non dormi mai. Ninna nanna mamma, insalata non ce n'è, 7 le scodelle sulla tavola del re. Ninna nanna mamma, ce n'è una anche per me, dentro cosa c'è? Solo un chicco di caffè. Quando sarò grande comprerò per te tante cose belle, come fai con me. Chiudi gli occhi e sogna quello che non hai, i tuoi sogni poi mi racconterai. Ninna nanna mamma, insalata non ce n'è, 7 piatti d'oro sulla tavola del re. Ninna nanna mamma, ce n'è uno anche per te, ci mettiamo su tutto quello che vuoi tu. Ci mettiamo su tutto quello che vuoi tu.
Oh, let's rise above. Let's rise above. Let's rise above. Seeking God's.
Yeah, classiche. 1, 2, 3. Love, acts of love, bringing folks together from different places, coming together while in different spaces. 29 countries and 30 faces, trying to stay cool in each other's graces. Traveling the world in a ginormous broom, flying through the atmosphere, going zoom. Warriors of the heart, del corazón, searching for some art. That's mi amor, moments coming up, so let's go, it's our place to start. So that's never wrong, but we're stuck in a cage. Una caja, try to channel rage. Mucha rabia, with the world in turmoil, going loco. We find a new stage, para todos breathe. News getting me crazy, trying not to be lazy. Everything looks so hazy, so let's come together to rise above, casting out a line, seeking acts of love. Acts of what? That line should be cut. Acts of what?
Kärlek. Sevgi.
Amor.
Amor.
Liefde.
Agape.
Amor.
Ay.
Amor.
L'amour.
Love.
Sevgi.
Ay. Amor. Ay.
Escuchando tanta gente que se muere todos los días enterrados. Tíos, tías, padres, hermanos. Duele tanto. La pregunta que me hago es, ¿por qué esto está pasando? Why is this happening?
Hello, welcome to Acts of Love Dreamscape Night 1. I am live. I am not pre-recorded. The beginning of tonight's presentation will be live. The first 3 things you see will be live, and then we have incredible digital content for you. And this whole thing is kind of like an act of love, because, you know, we got people from around the world helping each other, editing, writing, dancing for each other, honoring each other's stuff. And there's something really pure about that and necessary about that. And I'm grateful for it. I got a 5-year-old boy, and he's like 5 years old. And it's just the kind of purity. It's my only child, and it's just like everything is, you know what I mean? Everything is so pure of intent. And anyway, I'm so happy. I wrote one little note that I'm gonna read, and it's just that it's interesting to me, to Uda Hagen too. The word identity can often have to do with the outside, you know, how we look, how we sound, where we're from. And then there's the interior landscape inside each of us, the personal, unconscious, and maybe one word to describe it, dreamscape. I am in love with the themes for tonight, exploring all kinds of meaning in acts of love and dreams when we're awake, and that other time that we all share. Dreams we have that not only contain love, light, joy in the park, but also delving into dreams that are dark.
The green couch. She's lying on the green couch in the home she grew up in Karachi, texting this precocious and intriguing 13-year-old. Me. Sunday. Here's where my life begins. Of course, it wasn't friendship. We were too young to understand why we texted all day and all night. I sit in the front seat of my car. My friends are laughing and I don't care because I'm anxious. Where are you? Why haven't you found me all day? Why haven't you replied to me? An eyelash falls. I wish for you. My simple hope breaks through any understanding of time and space and enters your brain, and my phone buzzes. Hi. How, at 14, was I supposed to recognize our cosmic pull to one another. How, as a kid, could I have identified this strange longing for a girl when all I'd known before was boy craziness? She's older, she's cooler. That's why my heart is fluttering nervously every time I catch you walking around campus. Diesel jeans, black FCUK t-shirt, not a hair out of place. Her gait struggles to embody casualness. Her quiet, cool demeanor projecting worldly confidence. But we flash forward and images are shattered. I learn your reality. You are a terrified, insecure, intense, lonely little girl. Can I ask you something? Depends what you're asking. Have you ever cut yourself? I had a feeling that's what you were going to ask me. Yes. Have you? Yes. Our texts evolve into phone calls. We talk through the night until it's time for school, get dressed, and then ignore each other in real life. We spend hours on the phone all night just learning each other. Thousands of days later, we giggle about how cool you tried to act, how most of your stories were exaggerated or total crap. But at the time, I believed every word that came out of your mouth. She smoked, she drank, she drove fast. You hung out with kids older than you, even outside of school. You led boys on, but you had a deep, deep interest in having a clean reputation. She took sedatives to sleep. We talked about heavy things, deep things. When you're absent from school, often, I ditch out of classes throughout the day to call you. I remember one morning finding myself in the dark, stony hallways of the elementary school, skulking behind pillars and anxiously dialing your number, 0300-823-8488. Her voice that morning when she answered the phone, I'll never forget. Somehow, low, doused in drowsiness, no pretenses, just her. Smooth, but crackling at the same time, smoke and honey. Her each word was slowly blowing away clouds of sleep as she explained why she had bunked school again. You are so cute, I blurted out. We both paused. And then she said, no one's ever called me that. I giggled, not really realizing the implication of what she had just revealed, but no one had ever seen her softness. Or rather, she wouldn't let anybody see her softness or anything that could deem her vulnerable. A lishpa, a cuddly Care Bear? No way in hell. But I saw her, and she was so complicated. She was black and white and every shade of gray, and I was hooked. Knowing what I know now, would I do it all over again? We were in each other's veins. We were written all over each other's bodies. We were happy. She wasn't well. She wouldn't overcome the fucking demons. Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. And so she left. And I'm lying with my face against the mattress and the blanket against my head. And I'm screaming, but it's fucking muffled. My eyes are open, but I can't see anything. My eyes are open, but everything is dark. And then I'm asleep. And there she is. Her big olive eyes looking up at me, her arms around my waist, her exact smell, her soft, magnetic lips. This is real life. I can't be asleep. She's right here. We're laughing. It's us. But then sometimes it's not quite right. And I don't know what's reality. Like, how come sometimes the remote won't work and you're not around to fix this stuff like you always did? But then sometimes the remote won't work and you're there. Where the hell am I? Where are you? Why won't you talk to me? Where have you been all this time? Why won't you write to me? Why haven't you written to me? This doesn't feel like real life. We're disconnected, but look, you're here. Wait, where are you going? Say something. You told me you would never let anybody hurt me. But you left me covered in your blood. You turned our life into my lonely nightmare. You know how I come back to reality? I see your corpse. And then I know you're gone. And I just want to sleep now.
Mantelの星空をめぐり白鳥座の十字を目で追って僕たち宇宙に浮かんでるとあなたがぽつりとつぶやくあなたが
In that world, everything is right. Not too much and not too little. In that world, the sky is blue and grass is green, sun is shining and snow is falling. In that world, there is no suffering, no wars, no bad doing. There is freedom, there is happiness, respect and justice. There is music and dance. In that world, we all our brothers and sisters. We are equal, yet we are different. In that world, we love and care for each other. We are ourselves. We are in peace. As for me, that world is also pink. I'm close to my parents. I see them when I want. I hug my mom and smell her skin. I put my head on my dad's big belly when he laughs. My brother is jolly. He cuddles his wife. My nephews are running around. I bring my grandma's the tea to the garden. The garden so lush. Little bees are jumping from one plant to another. The air is crisp and smells of an early summer. The nature is itself. The nature is in peace. The baby has just learned how to walk. She's giggling and playful. She grabs the dog's long and fluffy ears. She smiles at me and looks up. She's my whole world. I will never give up on her. I pick her up and hold her in my arms. I go to the kitchen and I open the window. The sea is in front of me. The sound of waves crashing by the shore. It soothes me. I close my eyes and I take a deep breath. I turn around and I see him. I take his hand and he is there. He never leaves. He smiles. My heart feels safe. I know what love means. I am me. I am in peace. I just wanna dream.
This world is everything. We are ourselves. We are in peace. This world is everything. It feels safe, my love. I know what love means. I'm me, and I'm in peace. I just want to dream.
So I went to a high school that was a little rough around the edges, and they had a years-old tradition called the freshman beatdown. And in anticipation of it, I started having nightmares because I was a freshman at this high school. And this beatdown happens once a year at the end of the pep rally basketball game. And I was there. And all the freshmen there were making alliances with each other. And you hear things like, yo, which way you going? Oh, you going that way? Well, yo, I'm going that way too. Yo, let's walk together. And meanwhile, I was changing from my nice sneakers to my dirty running sneakers. And I had like an oversized hoodie that I put on, really to make myself look older and not look like a freshman. And as a non-freshman, you don't speak to other freshmen. So I wasn't making alliances with nobody. I was going through this alone. And before you knew it, the buzzer ended the game and we had to leave. And there's two ways to exit out the gym. The one way is you go through the school and then it'll take you outside to the front of the school. And then the other exit just took you directly outside to the side of the school, which that was the most dangerous because there's only one way out. And the right side of the path was just bushes and the left side was the side of the school. And I took that exit thinking that, all right, maybe the upperclassmen thinking that freshmen are not going to take that exit. But a decent amount of us did. So we took that exit and we got outside and we're walking down this path. And most of the freshmen are huddled together, except for me. I'm walking calmly on the side because I'm not a freshman at this moment. And as we're getting closer to the corner, we thinking home free, we're good. And then all of a sudden you see a large group of upperclassmen just come around the corner, and it's a lot. They're big, and the leader was actually someone that I knew. He grew up on my street. I know him. And he saw us and he was like, yo, where y'all thought y'all was slick? Freshman beat down, bitch. And then all the freshmen started scattering, and then the upperclassmen started chasing them and started picking them up and slamming them down on the ground. And the thing about the beat down is that if you try to fight back, you immediately get punched in the face. So you just gotta take it or you get punched in the face. And I'm not making eye contact with nobody. I'm walking calmly, and I walk past the leader, this guy that I know. He grows up on the street, as he's laughing at the upperclassmen slamming the freshmen down on the ground. So I pass him, I make a left, and now I'm in front of the school, and I still see more freshmen getting slammed down by the upperclassmen. And some are getting slammed on the bus. And this happened in broad daylight. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So I get about a quarter mile away from the school. I look behind me, make sure I'm not being followed. Coast is clear, and then I just run. I run as fast as my dirty running sneakers allow me to, thankfully. All the way home. I locked the door. I ain't come outside for about a couple of hours. And then I do come back outside around the time when the freshmen are coming back from school. And some of them are limping. Some of them got knots on their faces because I guess they try to fight back and, they got punched in the face. So one of my friends noticed me. He came over and he was angry. He's like, man, they just really came over and just punched me in the face. Like, what do you expect me to do, man? I had to fight back. Yeah, man, did they catch you? And I was like, nah, I didn't. I snuck out. But yo, wow, that's crazy. That's messed up what they did. And he just looked at me with so much contempt. And he just screamed loudly, yo, he didn't get the freshman beat down. He didn't get freshman beat down. And I just ran inside. I ain't come outside the whole entire day. This happened on a Friday. I ain't come out for the rest of the weekend either. And then Monday came along and I was nervous because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. This crazy thing just happened on Friday. And it felt like as if it never happened. Like all the upperclassmen were there and I was expecting some mass suspension to happen, but it just felt like another day. And I guess in a sense, I kind of came out of that nightmare unscathed.
I grew up in China, where the culture is more geared toward listening to your parents and teachers. In particular, the culture doesn't encourage you, especially as a girl, to have your own voice, your own mind, and chart your own path in life. When I was 5, the teacher asked in the class, do you know how to calculate 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 until 100? I gave him the correct answer using a shortcut in a few seconds. The teacher probably expected the kindergarten students to count on the numbers one by one. So he recommended me to join a youth training program for the Chinese National Mathematics Competition. I remained in the program, earning top marks year by year, even with my nerdy celebrity status. The head teacher repeatedly told me that men were much smarter than women. Even if I were a top student, men can surpass me easily as long as they grew and matured. I was told that I should remember my place as a woman, and I shouldn't waste my time trying out for a competition that would pit me against millions of people. Although those words truly did hurt, I went on to win the first prize of Chinese National Mathematics Competition twice. Because of this competition, I was able to earn the full scholarship to study in the United States. For my acting career, it also began in kindergarten, starting with a simple stage performance. I was singing a Chinese song. 我一见你就笑，因为你举止谈吐使人迷绕，和你在一起永远没烦恼。 When I was finished, everyone was applauding for a long time, and I was so obsessed at that moment. I wanted to perform on stage when I grew up, but I was not brave enough to say it at the moment. I have been attacked many times for achieving greatness in mathematics, and that was a socially acceptable career path. Acting, on the other hand, would not even be accepted by my parents. But a seed has been planted nonetheless. Much later, I was in college in the United States, and there was a girl. She was so nice and sweet. She was one of few people who were nice to me as a foreigner and outsider. She died in a bus crash in 2018. And at that time, I realized that life is so short. You never know what will happen. And it was my time to be confident and water the seed that I had planted. And at that time, I wanted to follow my dreams and become an actress. So I went to HB Studio and my journey started.
Wait, how are things going with Hector?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while.
Because you haven't seen him doesn't mean he hasn't been there, right?
I guess. Maybe I'm just not good enough.
Don't say that. Listen, you are a great medium.
You think?
Absolutely. Look, if this ghost isn't impressed with your aura or whatever, then screw him. I don't think these young city ghosts are right for you anyway. You should be communing with colonial spirits who are mature enough to know what they want from an afterlife.
Yeah. I guess I always had this dream that I'd meet the right ghost and everything else would be easy. Except, like touching him.
Why don't you call him? At least you'll know one way or another.
You're right. I should call him. Thanks, Clara. Gotta go. I'll call him. I'll just call him. Hector. Hector. Hector! Hector?
Oh, hey, Beth.
Where have you been?
Oh, around?
I tried to commune with you on my Ouija board every midnight this week, but I never got a response.
Yeah, sorry. Things been crazy busy for me lately. The haunting my parents, scaring people, work.
Well, you're here now, so do you want to hang out? Deal with some unfinished business?
Oh, yeah, now's not really a good time for me.
Oh.
I have a ghost thing.
Okay, well, I can do Thursday.
The truth is, Beth, look, I think we might work better as friends than as, ghost and medium.
Was it something I did?
No, it's nothing. It's just I sort of found closure.
Really?
No. Look, the truth is, with all this project work for my
Eternal rest?
it's like a lot. I'm looking for something a little more casual.
Don't you want to move forward to the eternal bliss that lies beyond this world?
I mean, eventually, but I don't think I'm really done being a ghost yet. Haunting, walking through walls, scaring people. I'm just not ready to give all of that up yet. It's not you. It's me.
Okay, well, thanks for being honest. I don't think I'm ready to be friends.
Okay.
Hector.
Yeah?
Scare me in a couple weeks? Maybe I'll be ready then.
Bye, Boo.
Bye, Boo.
A couple of weeks ago, I had this very strange dream.
I had a crazy dream last
I'm not
night.
sure if
I dreamt that I
was so
had
happy.
one heart in a parking lot above ground.
I think we missed the turn. There was like a, to turn somewhere, we missed the split. The car just fell down in the river. There was a river. I was trying to get out, but I couldn't. And the water was coming inside. I think it was coming inside. And I was just running out of breath.
There was a knock on my window, and I looked up, and it was the police officer this time. And I rolled down the window, and he said, I'm gonna ask you to get out of the car. And I said, are we safe? And he said, no, we're under siege.
I can't see you, but I feel all alone. Nowhere to go. All alone.
I ran and I jumped on another flight to New York City. I didn't buy the ticket, but I'm there. And I realized I don't have anything. I don't have my suitcase, I don't have money, I don't have my phone. Oh my God. I'm going to New York, I don't have anything. What I can do? So I speak with a member of the crew. You have to help me. You have to take me back home.
I turn around and I see my father wearing a blue shirt and pajama pants. I walk near him and in my head is like, I know he's not alive. Let me ask you the question. Where he was. When I try to make the question, he disappeared. And instead I see a woman that I don't know who she is. And she replies me, he is in the Margarita 3. The lights turn off and everybody's sitting in the darkness. And I wake up.
Last week I got a text. Dave's dead. He OD'd. I was sitting on the couch watching Hard Dixie. To be honest, it's one of those deaths you're expecting. You know how you have people who are old, ill, or a drug addict and they're gonna die? Yeah, it's one of those. He's a drug addict. Anyway, the family asked me to be a pallbearer. I said he spoke of me with respect. Which is great. I mean, we got along fine. I mean, we used to work together. That's how Dave and I know each other. Well, you know, for as long as it lasted, which I think was about 6 months, because you can't be on drugs and heavy machinery, right? Anyway, I found myself in Dillard's, purchasing a $700 suit. And to be quite honest, that stung more than a text message. I know, I questioned my emotions at the time. But the day of the funeral came around. I laid out the suit, showered, shaved, you know, all the stuff. And I hate suit shirts, got a fat neck, so apart from the distress of trying to do up my top button, I was numb. I mean, that's the only way I can think of it, really. It's just, I was numb. I mean, I knew I had a goal of being a pallbearer, so I went through all the necessary physical actions to do that. And I did. I got to the funeral home and I went and saw Dave. There's an open casket. I don't know why they do that. I mean, it's just spiritless, soulless. It's just, everything's gone. It's just a vessel, like a Madame Tussauds wax fix. It's really good because it's a real corpse and all. I remember looking at him thinking I was a psychopath because, to be quite honest, I just had this nothingness within me. I Don't really know why, but that's what it was. Anyway, we got him into the car, we put our lights and hazards on, and we all went through downtown to the cemetery. Everyone pulls up, you know, you go through all the red lights and the signage, big convoy, and we're straight out to the cemetery. We got him out, we carried him to the graveyard, and as the box is going down, the pastor's saying a few more words. My mind just drifted. And I was completely fucking angry. I mean, rage even. I couldn't believe it. Here I was burying this guy, and I realized that I didn't have this moment with my own grandfather. See, he died recently, not from COVID, but COVID stopped me from returning home to Australia to see him. So it's no one's fault, and that pissed me off even more. I mean, I don't know, I shouldn't have been. No, I should have been there. I was trying to be a good guy, for fuck's sake. But I realized I wanted to help my father say goodbye to his father. I wanted to say goodbye to my grandfather. I mean, he taught me a lot. He was like my best mate. He raised a boy, right, that became my father. I owe him everything for that. But instead I'm fucking here, burying this asshole, carrying his stupid ass. Get the... And you know what the worst part is? You know what the absolute fucking worst part is? They're all nice to me, the whole family coming up to me, thanking me for being nice to him. He even invited me to his bloody wake. I couldn't fucking do it. I got the fuck out of there. It's been playing on my mind for days now. Then I realised what my fucking problem was. I didn't get to say goodbye to my grandfather. I didn't. Didn't even get to raise a glass for him. So I thought I'd have a beer for him. Have a toast. Say goodbye. So to you, Bob Forster, thank you so much for all you've done. For our family. You lived well. You did it right. And know that I love you very much, okay? I love you very much. Goodbye, old boy. Goodbye.
ねねこしゃしゃりませねたこのかわいさ起きて泣くこのねころろつらにくさねんころろねんころろ It was that hot summer of 1977. I was waiting tables at Windows on the World, the restaurant that was on the top of the World Trade Center. One night, at the end of the second seating, I was waiting for a couple of tables to finish, and I was looking out the east-facing windows, and all of a sudden, the lights go out. Not in the restaurant. Across the river, the lights went out. Brooklyn, Queens, out. So I look north. It's completely dark. Manhattan, out. So I go over to the Jersey side, out the west windows. New Jersey's still on, but New York City's in a full-blown blackout. The restaurant, it turns out, had its own generator, so we had power for another 30 minutes or so. At about 10 p.m., we were down to emergency lighting and one auxiliary freight elevator that carried about 20 people at a time. Fast forward to 1 a.m., it's now down the 107 stories I'm going and trying to psych myself up for that 7-mile hike home.
to the Upper West Side, get to the lobby. I go through those revolving doors, and there he is, my boyfriend, and his motorcycle. He came to rescue me. He'd been there for hours. So I hop on, and we ride in silence, and it's completely dark, up the West Side Highway, but like we were in a dream. I could see the stars in the sky in New York City. And if I looked down the side streets, all you could see were maybe some candlelit people or the murmur of voices or music from a boombox. It was totally magical. And then we got to Columbus Circle. That's when we heard the sirens. And as we drove further north, the sirens got louder and louder. But we made it to his brownstone apartment. We opened all the windows, unfolded the futon, and fell asleep. Our power came back the next morning at about 11 a.m. because we were awoken to the sound of the radio and the AC kicking in. And we looked at each other and we smiled and just laid there for a couple of minutes. And I turned to get up and he pulled me back and he said, I gotta tell you something. I said, what? He said, I love you. I said, I love you too. We kissed. And then I looked him in the eye and I said, do you think the diner is open? And we laughed and we got dressed and we went outside to see what was going on. Diner was open, but even more miraculously, so were our hearts. Sometimes hearts need a little push. Sometimes they need a full-blown blackout.
I read somewhere that you can't make up faces in your dreams. It's all just information that you've already taken in. No matter how foreign or strange a person looks, they've been before you before. Even if it was just a quick pass by on the way to coffee, you've seen them before. Face to face, I probably walked past you every day, slipping by your subplots because I've got to be on my way. Faces and faces. Behind your mask, you smile from ear to ear, trying to make me comfortable, yet you're radiating with fear. You illuminate with hopelessness and pop embers of despair, trying your best to make like normal, but your anxiety is all up in your hair. You feel like this experience is your own personal travesty, but this is literally all of our Tuesday. And you feed this egotistical narrative by having the gall to say it's worse for me than it is for you. It's worse for me because that's my truth. No, it's worse for you because all you're feeding on is your apartment walls. And yes, the year that should have been magic is getting incrementally tragic, but we are all here, existing and stuck in this time and in this space. I think this might be a special case where it's alright to be dissatisfied. It's alright to want to leave. It's alright to create a new wheel, because the last one went flat. It's alright to dream. And dream up something big, something wonderful, something that'll make the assholes lacking compassion and empathy feel violated. Dream up something so despicable they won't even want to exist in your presence anymore. Dream up rights or privilege for yourself. Dream up equality and freedom and decency and justice. Dream of yourself as more than just a myth. Dream so hard that it scares them. We have to dream so that we can escape this version of life. We have to dream not for self-indulgence, but dream as an act of love. Because if not, we'll start to rattle ourselves with ridiculousness like, is the world mad at me? Because it's hitting me with all this tragedy. The news is like assault and battery. What happened to reporting on NASCAR, the NBA, and Fashion Week? You just wanting to hear my dream is the current form of flattery that I crave. And someday I might just cave. But that's if and only if I am not a fighter. Because I have a gut feeling that someday we'll be brighter, we'll be warmer, we'll have to be lighter. To catch a ride on the hot air balloons of joy and laughter that we'll be riding on together again someday. And I swear to you, if I had my way, those brighter days would be today. But because it's not just up to me, him, her, you, they, but we, I will do my part to make sure that we can see past these nightmares so that we can see the miracle of impermanence. Rest assured, it's not permanent. It's just a bad dream. Waiting to be woken up from, waiting to be created out of, waiting to be hugged and cradled and kissed and loved in person. want to be loved in person. I want to move with you in person. I want to breathe with you in person. Face to face to face. Not behind masks, but to face you in real life. The face from my dream. We're here dreaming together. No matter how alone it may seem.
Hello, everyone. I'm very honored to introduce to you the next song made by Kevin Hobaichan. It's called Seasons of Dreams. And Kevin is my co-champion for the music group, but Kevin has also been having a rough time this year. Not only because physically he literally broke his foot 2 weeks ago, but also mentally because of everything that's been going on for him personally, but also everything that's been going on around this world, the pandemic, Black Lives Matter. All of these amazing artists here tonight that are following their dreams, that's the biggest inspiration and motivation for him to keep going.
Having goals nowadays seem to lead to stress, and then the lack of hope that we have leads to our depression. We really don't respond when priorities are text, and then the beat of our hearts start to fade in succession. So let's focus on the dreams that we had before times are hopeless. Before we lost faith, then everything was broken. So let's drop our stress, cause we are the chosen. They try to take away our voice, but we've already spoken. Our dreams can numb our pain like mental ibuprofen. Start to wonder where the time's gone. The year's been a wreck, it feels so long. Every year through the tears we all been strong. We're done shedding tears for the years that we've been wrong. We'll chase our dreams in extravagant ways. Let's all spread the love when the skies are gray. We'll be royalty and so worthy of praise. And we'll laugh about the struggles that we're facing these days. Think about the times we've navigated this maze. And we'll thank each other because it's the world we've amazed. That
Thank you, HB Studio. Thank you, Edith Meeks. Thank you, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, and Kevin, and everybody involved and who helped. Thank you so much for Acts of Love, Dreamscape. Night one, it was so amazing. And mwah, 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 mwah. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for attending. And if you'd like, come tomorrow for a different show on Acts of Love, Dreamscape, night 2. Thank you, guys.